Hello and welcome back to Rage Gaming and not Diablo 4. This is in fact Path of Exile, a well-respected and loved ARPG of the same genre of game as Diablo, and one I'd actually never played before now. There is the horrible truth that while I have played lots of different ARPGs casually, I've never really got into them and taken them seriously. I've never played to max level and played multiple seasons and made many builds and all that stuff. Not until Diablo 4. That's right, the first time I ever took an ARPG seriously was Diablo 4. Funny really, but hey, I set myself a nice low bar so other ARPGs are going to seem much better. Though I will also say the current D4 team does deserve some pushback on that. Season 2 has been a very big step in the right direction for the game. It's like the people who made Diablo 4 mostly left after not finishing and releasing an uncooked experience. Now we just have a different team that's trying to fix that absolute mess. Still, it doesn't change the fact that we paid for essentially an unfinished beta of a game called Diablo 4. So, Path of Exile on the other hand, respected and regarded in much better light, and with the recent reveals for Path of Exile 2, I knew I needed to try this original at some point. This video then is a mix of both my live and post first time playing first impressions. Is it as good as everyone says? Is it really that much better than Diablo 4? Let's find out. So let's begin where I am now in the character creator. We're told, yep, you're exiled, get out of here. And I've got to look at 6 different characters who I guess are the classes of the game. Unfortunately, none of them are too inspiring looking to me. But to start with, we have a Templar option. We've got the Shadow, which looks like Rogue. This Barbarian looking Marauder. We've got a classic Ranger. We have a Duelist, which looks pretty cool. I'm honestly thinking it might be this one for me. And lastly, our Sorcerer type, the Witch, which I can entirely see Josh playing. So I'm going to go Duelist, try this out, see what it's like. I have no idea what to expect. We've got a Rusted Sword, okay. What's the stats like? Okay, this is the UI. So we've got health at the bottom left and mana at the bottom right. That's fine. This is kind of weird. So these are our potions. I guess I only have, 2 and then a mana potion? And then here's my hotbar at the bottom right. Feels like so out of place. I guess Diablo's is so center and big and quite invasive. This is obviously a very different art style. We've got our weapon with physical damage, crit strike chance, attacks per second, weapon range information. And it looks like it's got slots in it already. Oh, we've got our first enemy. It's a hungry corpse. Delightful. So all I have is like a basic attack with left click. So if I can attack and kite, okay, it really holds you in place to swing. We've got our first relevant drop, double swing. Immediately, just so much information. So we take a gem and put it into our weapon, which then gives me access to weapon sort of attacks here. We've got 3 slots. We have the basic, and now we have this gem ability, which is right click, and that costs the mana. And yeah, you can spam that and really spend mana fast. Okay, there's no roll on spacebar, and I have to press, oh no, it's the keybinds are, the keybinds are 1 through 5, and then your actual abilities are QWE and all that. It only took 2 seconds to make that swap, so that's no problem at all. Immediately, the combat feels like very slow for me. Like as I'm swinging and it's walking away, see how I'm missing it because it's just walking away from me slowly. I'm not sure how I'm meant to kite and position enemies, but wow, they're actually destroying me. I'm level 1 and just 1 pack of enemies is actually a threat. A nice little UI thing there is as I'm drinking the potions, you can see how it's emptying in thirds. Look at the mini-map at the top right. Wow, what a functional mini-map. That's crazy. I can see that we've got these walls and terrain here. So if I press tab, oh, that's cool. Look at that. We have an area map, but then we have the same thing but minimized at the top right. What a concept, Diablo 4. And if I open the map, we have the actual, look at this, the world region for Act 1. Okay, so this is kind of funny. So how I'm doing combat is I'm basically walking in and slapping them and then walking out before they can retaliate. Because my attacks are bleed, I can kill them over time. So there is like an actual melee kiting. As you can see, I can walk in and out before he can even actually swing at me, which is nice. So there's even though the attacks are quite slow, there is that level of kiting I can do in melee. Chance to bleed support. Supported attacks deal 1 to 2 added physical damage with weapon supported attacks. My god, I'm just reading like packs of sentences. So I've got my second gem from a chest and there's so much information here. This is a support for bleeding apparently. So just like the other I slot this in, so we've got a green and a red slot. So I guess I'm just kind of enhancing the potency of this specific skill. Oh, and we have weapon sets. So I'm able to swap from weapon type to weapon type instantly. So right now I only have this sword, but by pressing X I can swap to a different loadout. Maybe I can swap to range or like a slower weapon compared to a faster weapon, which means as you can see I'm losing my weapon skill with the specific sword. That's adding a lot of depth to the combat immediately. I'm excited by that. Oh my god, look at this inventory system. It's like Tarkov or like the Tetris system, Resident Evil style or whatever game you played like this. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like I'm babied so hard in Diablo now that I'm looking at this. This is taking up 4 slots. This would just be 1 slot, whatever shape or size it is. So a weapon's going to be different length. Oh my god, they are. Oh man, that's complicated. There's no numbers popping up as I'm hitting, so I don't know how hard I'm hitting. Was that like a crit animation where it sort of jumped up in yellow? I don't know, but I imagine maybe. I can't even see their health bar unless I'm like hovering over them like that. Oh, there we go. Level 2, my first ding. This is what I've been waiting for. This is something obviously I've seen clips of. Everyone's seen clips of it. I'm terrified to like comprehend it myself. Here we go. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Where do I even begin? There's no point me hovering over anything specific. I'm not going to comprehend it. So if you come to the middle, we slow it down. It's actually just 3 points, right? Are you going strength, which is life and melee physical, dexterity, which is accuracy and evasion, and then intelligence, which is mana and energy shield. I don't know what this class is meant to do, but it seems like it's got the most points in strength and dex, so I'll pick one of those. Maybe strength for the melee physical and life to keep me alive. So if that's true, then I guess I'm going this way, which means I'm going to get increased attack physical by 14% and also 14 maximum life. Great. So that gives me at least the starting point. This gives me 2 options, not like 16 million like it looks like at first, but it's actually just 2 options. Do I want strength, just raw strength, or shall I go for this circle here, which increases my attack physical damage? So I can come around to the left and keep enhancing that, or I'll go to the middle and get armor, evasion, and life for survivability, okay? If I keep going down the strength route, I'll end up getting Master of the Arena for consistent health regen and increased range to my melee. That's great. Alternatively, if I went the dex route, I get Art of the Gladiator for attack speed, global accuracy rating. Yeah, so just keep it simple. I'm going to go down the strength route. I've no idea if that's right. I've just found my first plate vest, so if I put this, I can actually wear that. Look at the detail on that. That's great. It actually looks like... what a concept. I feel so dumb saying this. It looks like the icon, the artwork here, represents what it looks like in game. Crazy. What an unheard of concept. Thank you, Diablo 4. Oh, my first big boy. Oh, is that like... is it elite? A special enemy? I don't know. It's not got like anything crazy about it. It's just big guy, but he does have like the gold thing around him. All right, here we go. Proper combat at level 2. So we hit him, we got the bleed, let the bleed do its work. Yeah, look at that, look at the damage the bleed does. Holy sh... Walk in, give him another one. Walk in, give him another one. No problem, he's so slow. You're so slow, bro. He's never gonna hit me. He's incapable of hitting me. I'm too good. Is he done? No, he just fully healed. What? He pulled a sword out of him and fully healed. Okay. And now he's definitely going to hurt more. I'm going to take it a bit more serious. And I've also used all my mana already. Step in. Okay, I'm going to have to just basic. Oh my god, that was so much slower. Okay, my special attack is fast. So we walk in, give him a swing. Walk back in, give him a slap. Walk out. Yes, okay. Slap him, slap him, slap him. Yeah, there you go. We got some shoes, a scepter, a club. Oh my god, he dropped so much stuff. And then also, oh, it's blues. So I got a scepter, I got a club, and I got a sword, and it's just the same sword as that I'm already using. Okay, I've made it to my first town. We've got a lot of question marks and a lot of quests to pick up. So I can't use these, so I guess I should just sell them, right? So I'm just dump them in here, and then she's offering me some scrolls and transmutation shards. This feels so like old school RPG in a good way, but also like a quite hard to take in way. Oh, we got our first quest reward. Okay, cool. So we've got red gems. Okay, new abilities. We got Cleave, Molten Strike. Cleave is nice, but I'm already AoEing a little bit already. I think we go for Molten Strike. Oh, I can put it in my armor. Okay, go put that in my chest, and then... yeah, we got Molten Strike. Okay, I thought it had to go on the weapon. It can go in your armor. So I've got a slot on my gloves, bunch on my boots, and a couple on my chest piece. All right, that makes so much more sense. So now I've got Molten Strike. Let's try that. How do I do it? Middle mouse button. So I get a little flame, and then it goes out so quick. Apparently, it launches a projectile when hitting an enemy, so let's give that a try. Slap this lady. Okay, wow, it's like bouncing fire. And look at her, she's got like the fire effect on her. Your skill gem can now be leveled. Oh my god. So we can level up the skills to make them more potent by leveling the actual gems. Wow, that's so strong. It's actually spreading really well over, say, the bleed swipe. So we've leveled up our double strike, so we can press this button to level it. And now it's dealing 3 to 5 physical. I think the damage has gone up, though it didn't really give me a clear indicator. You can see on the map how I'm progressing, right? So we had the starter area, then we're in the town. Now we're in the third area. That's just how it goes. I guess my rotation is apply the bleed, then start slapping with the fire, and then basic whenever I, you know, have to. Whoa, this dude just teleported. We got an elite. Okay, I just discovered I can do something, right? Where I do a basic attack, then right click on the second swing, and it's almost like a frame cancel. Like I can get like multiple attacks out really quick if I'm very fast with it. But Jesus, by the way, this guy's destroying me. It's awkward that he's fire since I have a fire ability, but I'm just going to keep walking around. Looks like he's sending kind of like an arc of these fire things that last a little bit in front of him. And then we've got a dash on the fire. So if I move away from that, it should be okay. Just try not to stay, you know, in one place. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. All right, we got a chainmail vest. The new vest gives me 28 armor, 10 energy shield, but then I'll lose the gem. Can I take the gem out? Yeah, you can just simply take the gem out. So put this chest piece on. Take this old one off, put this one in there, and then we're good to go. We keep the ability. And we have another skill point, which we put straight into the improvements here, and apply that. Beautiful. I've got an open world quest here as I come into a new area, so no longer on the, like, dark beaches, and we have totally different enemies now. I am noticing I'm having to potion, like, pretty more commonly, at least. Even the little basic enemies, as I fight them, I've got to move around, and these guys have a lot more attack speed, so it's almost like I can't weave it in and out like I was before. Oh, a glyph. Find a use for the strange glyph in the mudflats. Okay, so when I go near the shrine, I get this effect. You take increased damage while standing in shocked ground. So I don't want to get hit while I'm in here, but what do? I just pick it up, and now I'm the Eye of the Storm. Oh, it is like a shrine buff. So for 40 seconds, I just get these novas around me. So I guess I shouldn't stand and fight. I should just sort of wander around. Looks like it's debuffing them. They're all like blue with lightning. Yeah, so they're taking they're taking the increased damage, just like I was, by those affected. Oh, we got an elite here. Okay, so he's like... poison. Enemies take chaos damage over time. That's what I'm applying to him. That's his debuff. Holy crap, he hits hard. I nearly just died. Okay, cool. Here we go. I found where I put the glyphs. So I found these 3 eggs that had glyphs in them for some reason. Found 3 of them. Now we have a wall here that takes all 3 of them. The submerged passive is now available. Okay, so I sort of searched this whole area here and circled it and eventually found this wall, which actually reveals what might be my first dungeon. We have a waypoint, so I can teleport, say, to the other one that I found earlier, maybe. We can see the different levels. So they're supposed to be level 5 here. I am currently 5, I believe. Can I just teleport back to town? Yes. So my inventory is like basically full. It feels like it's constantly full. There's so much like grey level stuff that's dropping. All right, new ability options. Sniper's Mark. It's strange I'm getting range stuff because I don't think I've got that. Ancestral Totem Spawn. Ooh, different stances. Swap between Blood and Sand stance. More AoE damage, but like smaller AoE. I think I'm going to take the stance one and then just put it in the gear. Or dash. Perform a series of quick teleports towards a target location. Hell yeah, give me that one. So we're in my first sort of cave dungeon thing here, and god does it feel tight. And I've got these enemies that are kind of exploding in water around them, it looks like. So I've got to kind of stay away from them. But because these caves are so tight, you're kind of struggling to hit enemies without being hit by that, or avoid sort of AoEs of that nature. So it feels quite intentionally designed, like what kind of enemies they've got, what kind of attacks they've got, why they're using him, the very actual shape and size of the corridors you're going through. Another special enemy, Brood Princess. Okay, so that's spawning enemies, and wow, I feel very slowed right now. What is that? Yeah, you're just being chilled. Okay, so dash through that. It's got like a wave attack. I think I want to move around it, but it's kiting me, so I'm going to have to use the dash, so keep up with it. I'll try to maintain the bleed, and then just use the fire over and over with my mana to keep AoEing, dealing nice damage. And we're in the blood stance, so that I'm dealing less AoE size, but it's actually dealing more damage too. Actually drink my mana potion, keep my spirit up, dodge that attack with a dash, keep walking around. Okay, we're really cooking here. Something's actually happening, and it's just, you know, it's just an elite. It's like shielding itself, so each time that I was going for the killing blow, it was just sort of absorbing it. Wow, what just a cool elite. I can hold alt and just show what's on the ground. That's so much nicer. There you go. Tribal Club, unidentified, requires 26 strength to use. So maybe I'll have that as my offhand weapon, but I'm going to need 26 strength. If we look at my character screen to see what I've currently got 23. So as I'm leveling up, instead of continuing to pick these up, maybe I could actually choose to level the strength so I'd be able to use that club. Although to be honest, I don't think it really suits my character. I don't care, but maybe that's an option. Oh my god, I just died. Wow, that was sudden. I got slowed by these ranged enemies, then these little crabs just destroyed me. So I can resurrect at town, or I can just go to the checkpoint, which is just a waypoint. So I kind of like made it through most of this dungeon, but then got clapped. All right, we're back at the guys that killed me. So it was like a pack of these special blue enemies that hit you with cold and slow. You see how I'm getting slowed? And then I was getting smashed by the ranged ones at the same time. So if I just kite these out and kill them out of line of sight, the ranged ones, which have now just spawned behind me. So we're going to use our dash to get out of that situation. Actually put my stance back on. Looks like you lose it when you die. Makes sense. Keep kiting the wrong way. Let's just go for the ranged ones. They have these shields, which make them a problem. We've hit them with the fire. It seems to just kill them. Dash through those. Go for these ranged ones. Hit them with the fire. There we go. And then we can start smashing these special enemies. They're ranged as well, and they're slowing you, so it's a proper nightmare. Look at that. They kite me as well, and as I swing, they walk out of range of it. Nice. Another level. I think that's level 7, yeah. We've finally done it. We've reached an actual relevant passive. So we have Master of the Arena. We're getting that health regen, extra melee physical, better range on the melees, and plus 20 strength, by the way. So we can now use that club. Gives you plus 8 strength just having it on, and adds cold damage and physical damage and lightning resistance. So if I swap to my other weapon, put that on, take this off. Do I get these passives now? Plus 8 strength when I'm not actually holding it. 43 strength and swap 51. Okay, I actually have to be holding it, which is unfortunate. But hey, I can increase my stats if I need to. And it's a lot slower, obviously. Oh, okay, here it is. The Dweller of the Deep. That's what we're here for. Right, so I'm going to kite around and hit it with a bleed. Walk around its back. Oh, it's got like a stomp, so it does like a cone attack on its front. How am I going to avoid that? Right now, I'm just going to kite around it for the moment and try to maintain the bleed. Keep seeing the fire. Okay, there's the cone. So my shield's gone now. Let's get some mana back. Keep walking around. Keep the bleed on it. Just keep smacking it. I'm kiting around. Keep spawning loads of ads, so I just feel like I'm supposed to keep dropping the AoE on them. Let's get some mana back. Get slowed by the mobs. Please die. There we go. Nice. Okay, Splintered Tower Shield. I'm not sure if I can use those with this class, but I may as well take it. It looks like it's special. So let's get this all vended. I have these items, not many of them. Portal scrolls here, so I can have up to 40 at once. Just creates a portal back to town instead of having to walk all the way out, which is quite nice. But as a limited resource, it has me worried, you know. Obviously in Diablo, I can press T and go back to town, and that actually opens a portal straight back to the dungeon. So yeah, actually it works the same here. That's really cool. So I can click that and go straight back to that dungeon. So if I have access to portal scrolls in general, maybe from vendors, maybe they're cheap, then that would be great, because then I could come back to town and vend them more regularly, which is something I'm having issues with right now. Okay, here we are in sort of another dungeon, a very different vibe to the underwater kind of flooded cave. This is like a very poisonous area. Oh, we got like an elite here. Okay, we got a proper boss here. Cadaverous the Defiler. Defeat the Necromancer and his minions. I'm going to pop this potion that gives me a bit of move speed, so hopefully I can move in and out. I'm going to rotate around. He's spawning mobs, so every time that he does that, I'm just going to use the fire, whereas I'm going to keep the bleed on him the whole time. I don't even know whether I can bleed him, because he's, you know, kind of undead. And he's summoning these skeletons. They probably can't bleed, but he looks a bit fleshy. Seems to be working okay. He's nearly done. Yeah, there's no problem. That was no problem at all. It was just spawning a load of ads, and you just needed to sort of keep them under control, I guess. It's interesting. My mission was to find this place and kill that boss, right? So I've done that. But you can see on the right, I've also got Dirty Job. So it's not like a main quest, but I can do it while I'm here, which is kill all the monsters in the fetid pool. I'm interested to see whether the actual optional quest, whether it updates once I finish what I'm supposed to do here, or it doesn't. Ah, it does. And even in fact, the entire lighting down here changed, and it was telling me on the left I didn't see how many monsters remained. That's nice. Got myself some superior boots here in a drop, but I cannot put them on unless I identify them again, which get me a little uncomfortable because I'm starting to get lower on these Scroll of Wisdom. So here we go. Viper Slippers Leather Scale Boots. Armor, evasion, max life, regen per second. It does feel like there's a lot of information, but it also feels pretty clear, which is really well done. In terms of enemy variety for the combat, I've got to say it's pretty incredible. Initially I've started fighting these goat men, then they started, you know, jumping at me, more melee focused. Then we got shamans that are casting fireballs and stuff at me. Then I got some skeletons, and I got ranged skeletons, and now I've got these kind of like wheel guys that are rolling at me, feeling like Dark Souls 1, the pinwheels. Now I've made it to the prison, pretty much seemingly at the end of Act 1. As you can see, I'm like right at the end, at least what it appears to be. Gotta find this guy called Brutus and kill him. And as you can see, I've changed my setup a little bit. We are now using a two-handed sword in one hand, and then as I swap, I've got my club and my shield on the other. The club is a nice little yellow with some good potential there, and then I can basically swap to this if I want to go defensive, but in most cases I want to do as much damage as possible, so I'm using this two-hand. This has changed the plan with the actual build though. I'm not going to be using a dual wield. I'm actually right here anyway to go down to enhancing two-hand damage and really making it stronger, so that's what I'm going to do next. However, the way I've come over here is actually really solve my mana issues, and I've got some nice attack speed despite being a slow weapon. So I'm actually kind of happy with the way it's turned out and the different sort of setup that I've got. Despite the fact that I'm using a slower weapon, my bleed attack is coming out so quick, and that's because of the way the gems work. Let me show you. So here's my bleed attack, double strike. It's a green gem in a green socket. And I didn't realize, but support gems need to be on the correct thing, connected to the thing you're trying to support. So what this does is it actually enhances the potency of bleed, right? So this has to be next to the skill that's causing bleed. The other one I've got is another support style gem, and it supports attack skills, giving them 21% increased attack speed. So it feels like this bleed attack is really quick for me, despite the fact that I'm using two-hand weapons. So I'm really creating a build while leveling, and it's really growing on me. Hey, Brutus, we finally found him. This is the boss that we've been hunting. All right, so he's got like a cleave, holy crap. Sends like a bunch of stuff. So I do need to circle him like most mobs. When he channels that charge, I've got to move away from him. Just tanked all of it. So let's just put a bleed on him and walk around him, wait for him to do that big hit, and then just smash him from behind. Stay away from that, stay away from that. Yeah, just stay out. Good. Big AoE, bit of fire damage. Dodge that, beautiful. When he does the next slam, we're just going to leave. There we go. So we just stay away while he does that. And then we're just going to smash him. Just trade with him, smash him. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was close. I was out of heals and he put me to like 5%. Wow. Okay, we got some gloves, we got a mask, and we got a carving knife. The gloves could be good. Let's identify them. 2 reds and a green. That works for me. Take that off. I'll have to put that off and put that in there. Then it's connected. Make sure my stance is back on because I just took it off for a second. Let's go back to blood stance. Awesome. I got myself a delightful plague mask. My character is horrifying. With that, we have a new gem. So we got a leap slam. Let's go give that a quick try. Little leap, a little slam, and potential knockback. Oh, wow. You can just kind of use it. Wow. That's insane. With the mana situation I have, that's such incredible mobility. That's such a game changer. Wow. But yeah, post-holo here to talk about that experience now. I think it is obvious from watching that I've really enjoyed my first chunk of gameplay. The amount of depth and options, the game really snowballs in an awesome way. You start so simple and slow, you get a couple abilities, you make those abilities stronger, get some better gear, pick up some passives from that intimidating skill tree, all within like 2 levels. The next thing you know, you've got 2 weapon loadouts you're swapping between, you've got equipment intentionally gemmed in specific ways to maximize the support gems, you've got double the abilities, frame cancelling your melees, dashing and leaping through backs to important targets, avoiding the telegraphs, circling enemies, avoiding missiles. As I found, you can and will die if you do not respect even the basic enemies you're dealing with. And all of that's in Act 1. I'm barely even touching level 15 right now, and I've considered my build and options so many times. It's incredible. The depth of this game just smashes into you immediately. I mean, just look at the skill tree and you know what I mean. And I have to say, each level seemed to really matter. You pick up one passive and it's like, yeah, here's 20 extra strength, increased melee range, damage on hit, so on and so on, compared to getting like 1% extra crit and it doing basically nothing. This experience is also an absolute wall. The amount of time that I've cut from this video where I'm sat there considering my 6 gem choices for the 3rd time in a row, or the insane path potential that is the skill tree, or how to make best use of those support gems. Truly, none of it's hard to understand, but the issue is how much you have to learn and understand immediately. It's just walls of information and text to read through, which is fine if you really take your time to stop and read it and take it in, but if you're expecting to fly through a sort of streamlined new player experience, you're not going to get that. Diablo gets going so much faster and smoother by comparison. It's clear that Diablo 4 is a more up-to-date game since it released this year, and it's clear that PoE is a decade old in its designs. It literally came out a decade ago. But it's also obvious that Diablo loses that depth the moment that you reach level 30, get your ultimate, and no longer get any impactful choices. It's just all passives that don't do much. Meanwhile, PoE just keeps layering on more fast, and it gets much more detailed and varied by comparison. I do wish that there were things where I could say test the different gem options out before really committing to one. I have no idea if my other options like the banners or ranged abilities should have been something that I tried because I just didn't get the option. I have to commit to something immediately, many things in fact, before I really knew what was going on. So overall, yeah, incredible depth and feel, a real snowball that builds and builds and builds. But an intimidating wall of a star that requires you pay attention and read a ton of information. If you were to ignore it, you'd have a much worse time because of it. I have no idea what PoE 2 has promised, but I would like to see a more streamlined, clearer introduction to the systems, but I'd also not want them to lose this level of depth. It is brilliant. As a new player, big picture, I've really enjoyed it, and I strongly recommend that you try it out if you're into ARPGs. But those are my first impressions. I hope this video was interesting or maybe helpful to you. But for now, I've been HotA, you've been you. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.
Josh, Cotton, and HotA with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.